People, more often than not, doom themselves. It's not that things outside of them doom them, but they doom themselves. Basically, not because of the evidence of anything, but because of the way we interpret information. And the way we interpret information is probably one of the most fundamental key components to whether or not we're able to accept reality the way it truly is. What I mean by this is it's a fact that many of us have to work every day. And it's a fact that while, we get up, we work every day, and oftentimes, many of us have to work our ass off, right? That's what we say. But the fact is not what determines your reaction to it. What determines your reaction to it is the conclusion you draw based on that fact. And this is true for many, 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 many things. And unless you are conscious of this, you can never truly be an intelligent person. How many thousands of people are born and die every day and never come to this very basic conclusion? When it comes to aliens being spiritual, this idea that, something might exist above our realms and stuff, it's the conclusions that we make based on these things, that we take these things and we draw applications. There's this assumption, that a lot of people have, and there's a lot of this stuff going on around about gray aliens abducting people. And people don't really take into consideration that if psychic phenomenon is real, and you only have to have enough experience with it to know that there is something to it. Not that it's real by anyone's definition, just that there's something to it, i.e. that it's real. To know that a being that advanced would have to be of a negative nature to even have the desire to abduct someone. And it's unrealistic to think that the spiritual hierarchy, if there is one, of extraterrestrials would want to abduct people because of the abilities they have, because of how well they would know us. If they actually had anything against us, it seems like it should be very easily to destroy us or mutilate us in whatever fashion they would want to. The things about what Dr. George King says, they're hard pills to swallow, and no one wants to. And I don't particularly blame them. But you see, it's ideas like this that can really bring up a lot of pessimism when it comes to knowledge. Let me give another example. The notion that humans are frugivores. It's not the body that really determines what we think about ourselves. It can be, but it isn't. What I mean by this is, what if you study biology and you find out that we have all this stuff in common with a chimp, all this stuff in common with a bonobo, all this stuff in common with a gorilla. We have a digestive system that is almost, frugivorous, even though it may vary some. And some of these variations are based on conditioning, based on how we condition our system. Now, we could take that and we could go two routes with it. We could go the possible application route, or we could go with the natural route, which is the route that me and Mark Tassi choose to take. This is the route that, because our digestive system is so frugivore in its nature, that it wouldn't make much sense in our eyes to view it as, well, anything else. We go with the natural route. We believe that animal is designed, whatever they are naturally built for. Now I'm not saying that you're an evil person if you eat things that aren't natural. I do all the time. I've been trying to deal with my problems, and I gave up soda a couple weeks ago. I went through a big depression with the Joe Biden incident. We don't need to go into all that. But see, here's the thing. There's another route that many people choose to take. And this is the sort of what I call the possible application route. It's this idea that us being frugivore-like in nature, they don't take that as evidence that we are frugivores. Rather, these people choose to go in the route that the fact that we have a frugivore-like digestive system, and that we eat the way we do, implies that the frugivore-like digestive system had somehow adapted to eating these things, and that this somehow it somehow means that we are no longer frugivores. See, the difference is how me and most people interpret this information. While me and Mark Tassi might view these adaptations as desperate ways to more of a survival thing than a way to idealize meat, understand the difference between idealizing a food and being able to use certain adaptations to survive these situations. Most people don't notice the difference between these two, which is why most people wouldn't come to the conclusion that because our body is almost perfectly designed for eating fruits and vegetables, that is in fact what we're designed to eat. It's very important that we understand the nature of the human mind so that we can understand the nature of what allows us to perceive certain things in the way that we're able to perceive them. Because information is good, but it's what you take from it that paints the picture. If you doubt that a planet is a living organism, doubt that a planet is a living organism. See, the problem is that when people go on there, they make a bunch of, jokes about Uranus and just being ignorant. You're taking the ignorance of this world and projecting it out onto this beautiful, beautiful platform, which we call space. And the sun is our boss, and he's got everything figured out, and he's, or she has got everything moving around the way it's supposed to. And we spit in our boss's face and talk about how stupid the names of the planets are that we named them. We got to stop projecting our ignorance out onto the world. And we got to start understanding that, our applications are what shapes things. Oftentimes, you need to be more interested in whether or not there is a spiritual reality at first, and understand the applications of what such a spiritual reality might mean before you go diving into ideas like the Aetherius Society or something like that. Because it's too often that people jump on something without understanding all the possible applications, and they judge it for how stupid it is, when they themselves do not yet have a proper platform for understanding such a thing. And I hope this kind of opened up some people's eyes, because, this form of cognitive dissonance is everywhere in our modern day society. And it is very unfortunate to be that way.